So our next question is from Mim Porter, and that is, which Harry Potter sets did you design, and which was your favourite and why?
Yeah, I designed the Newt Scamander's suitcase, which was really an awesome challenge because when it was pitched to me as like a design brief, it was like, just make, the little hut that he lived in inside the suitcase and a place for the animals, the fantastic beasts to be kept or something like that. But it immediately in my head, I'd I'd just seen that movie at the cinema, and I'd bought it on Blu-ray, and we watched it in the team, and the whole movie is based around this suitcase, right? Not the inside of the suitcase. It's based around him carrying the suitcase around all the time. So why shouldn't the set be a suitcase? So that was really a really interesting challenge, and I'm really inspired by some of these toys I had as a kid, like micro machines that when you opened it, it might be this compact toolbox, and then you open it up and it's like a whole city inside. So Matthew, you're probably too young to remember that. It's like back in the 90s, in the olden times. but yeah, so that was kind of my inspiration, was this kind of thing that can open up into something like, the world. There's this scene in the movie where he lays a suitcase down on the floor and he goes down like steps into the world that's inside, and that's his name, Jacob, I think his name is, the other guy. He gets like stuck because he's too fat to get in, and I thought it was just so funny that they go down this little ladder and then they're in the world, right? So the set has this little ladder and it's a suitcase that really opens. I wanted it to be as massive as possible, so that was really a great challenge. It was me and Mark Stafford, who designed that big Jurassic Park T-Rex. We were really trying out some new ways to make this like kind of like Polly Pocket, like open thing you open and there's this whole world inside. And how can you do that in minifigure scale? Because minifigures are quite big, and when you say the set is only like £45 or something like that, $50, $60 maybe, it's not a massive set. So how can we cram as much into that as possible? And plus the Fantastic Beasts as well that need to be in the set, because the movie's called Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. So you need to find the Fantastic Beasts in the box. So we had real fun designing those creatures as well. So you could play with them inside. Oliver's actually got it. I think he has a shrine to me in his house. I made.
Matt Kirby has a really good question here, and that is, what is your favourite Easter egg or reference in a set? And are there any that people might not know about?
Yeah. There's one that really annoys me, and that's that Justin Ramsden keeps putting chicken parmo in all of his sets. Like, what even is chicken parmo? I don't know.
Rick Ali Lugger on this call, so they might well know the answer to that and disagree with you.
I don't even know what it is, but that's one that it just cracks me up every time. It's even in that new one from Monkey Kid, right? There's the spider.
Oh, is it even in that? Wow.
Yeah, I think as that comes out tomorrow, I think. But a lot of the times we're trying, like, the design sneak their initials into a set. So basically every Lego City vehicle that has a number plate has the initials of the designer as the two first letters of the number plate. So I have my fair share of those. When I was the new designer, the ambulance has my initials on the number plate. Actually, there's a big parking garage. It's called the Lego City Parking Garage. I don't know. It's Lego City Garage, which came out in around 2012, which actually has Graham Hancock's initials on one of the cars. So
that's my favourite Easter egg.
Yeah, so it's like, we're sneaking some stuff in, and since becoming a parent, I've always wanted to put my kids somehow into a Lego set. Actually have one here, which is this T-Rex transport from Jurassic World, and if you can see here, my daughter's name, she's called Penelope, and the number plate on the front, there we go, is her initials and date of birth. on the number plate. So that's my personal like win for for being a parent. You know, so I'll hold this over her head forever. Say that I put you're canon in Jurassic World. You know. So you know that's something that I always really want to put in. The Hogwarts, all the portraits, the massive Hogwarts has all these portraits. That's all like design team members and their family members and stuff. That's really really great. Lego Friends has like this really great one where it's like just a party checklist or something, and all the names are not of the characters but of the designers that are coming to the party. So it's the design team's names on the checklist, which was one from a couple of years ago, which is really great. And so every time you see an autograph or something, that's someone's actual autograph that's printed on a Lego.
So Adam Bryan's got a question, and that is based on what you said earlier about being moved from Lego City to Lego Ninjago. How much choice do you get on what you're going to be working on in the design team?
I think for the reason I was kicked out of Lego City is because Lego City is, you know, there's a couple of themes around Lego that are kind of the pillars of Lego that are the main players: City, Creator, 3-in-1, Friends, maybe Superheroes, where they train new designers because they have these old guys that have been there for ages, and they are training the new designers. So I'm classed as the old guard now. So me and my colleagues are training the new people who are coming in, and then eventually someone else will have to come in and be trained. So those new people, now they've had their kind of time in the training camp, the boot camp. Now they're set free to spread their wings and show their talent within the company and really try out some new stuff. So they don't necessarily hire people into a team because they only could do superheroes. You know, you come in and say, I really love Spider-Man, and they say, well, you're the perfect person to be trained in superheroes because you know what you're talking about. So they might put that person in superheroes to be the Spider-Man designer. But that person can't only ever do Spider-Man. So, you know, so then it's like, well, now we're going to give you a new opportunity to try out something, learn some new skills, make products for new consumers you don't know anything about. So we're going to move you to Friends or Elves or something like that, you know. So it gives you a chance to try something out, new colors, new building techniques, new people to make Lego sets for. So of course I can say that please don't send me to Technic, right? But normally it's really just given to the designers as an opportunity to try something new, because otherwise if you get stuck in the same place forever, then you become uninspired. And if you're not having fun designing a toy, why should you expect a child to have fun with that toy? So we really want everyone to be enjoying themselves, trying out new stuff. And there's themes that are in development at Lego that no one knows about, that aren't even announced to the public. So, you know, 2 years ago, if someone said to me, would you like to work on Super Mario? I'd be like, excuse me? Of course I want to work on Super Mario. It's a new opportunity to work with a partner that I've never tried something for, you know, and just try something totally brand new. And then you see that there's this electronic element to it. So it's just something else, right? So me moving to Lego Ideas was, you know, I really wanted to try and make products for adults. I was given that opportunity.
And Martin Ferenci's got a question about how things have gone recently with Lego design. And so it's about people having to work from home during the pandemic. And have designers had access to all of the elements? And how did that remote work affect the process? Like, did they move entirely digitally, or how did you kind of deal with that?
It was really weird at the beginning when they locked everything down and there was no access really to anything. And we don't necessarily start digitally. So a lot of it is like feeling the real plastic bricks and building in real plastic, right? and to make these models and to be inspired by the shapes and the colors and everything. and then being shut out of that totally is like crazy. So what was allowed was that a very low percent was allowed to be inside the design building to collect the things that you need and then take it home again. And not everyone has a laptop, for example. So all the Star Wars designers had to go in and grab their just huge towers and screens and lug them home, be able to work from home. So that was really crazy. And we've really started to adjust. All the like quality meetings that we have been able to move online. So we've started to kind of fake the building instruction process or show it digitally. Of course, we use a digital program as one of the main tools to design Lego sets. So you can compensate a lot with that, but you really can't replace building with real Lego bricks with building digitally. So, you know, things like gravity, they don't exist in the digital space. So that might be something totally detrimental to the development and build of a Lego set. So that's been really, really interesting to see actually how it's thrived, because we have had this opportunity to go and get big sacks of Lego and take it home and try and build some stuff at home. And now it's opened up a little bit, so we can be, I think it's like 25% of the design force in the design building. And that design building holds around 700 people. So you see, it's quite a lot of people that have to stay out of the building. So you know, people who are working in marketing, product management, project management that aren't really dealing with the plastic bricks every day, they don't necessarily need to be there. So it has been mostly Lego designers. You know, it's like the inmates running the asylum right now.
Matthew and Jennifer have both asked a similar question about if you've got a favorite set that you've worked on.
Yeah, my favorite Lego set that I worked on is the Lego City Ambulance, which is the first one that came out. So that's the one that is like that's like my achievement, my lifetime achievement, right? Is that I made this ambulance, and the person who taught me how to be a designer was the person who made my favorite Lego set as a kid, which is on the shelf just behind my head. It's like this little recycling truck. And actually, he's actually the minifigure in the set. There's a guy who's fallen off of his bike in the set, and that's Torben. That's supposed to be him. That's that little Easter egg that's in there. And so that's the set that is really like everything I worked for my whole life culminates in this Lego set, and everything that goes after that is like life bonus, right? But then I really love Doctor Who, which I did in 2014, came out in 15, I think. Yeah, I found a guy on, I think it was Twitter. It was like early days of Twitter, I guess, and that tweeted about this Lego ideas submission. Wouldn't this be great? Tagged all the people who played the Doctor that were on Twitter at the time, right? And then posted it. Wouldn't this be great? And one of those people actually responded, Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, saying this would be the perfect Lego set, but only if Sam Johnson gets to be the Lego designer. And so I'm like mind blown, right? So I screenshot that page from the website, sent it to Tim Courtney, who was working on Lego ideas at the time, saying, you gotta let me, like, I mean, even the Doctor wants me to do Doctor Who, right? And like, how can you deny that? And they gave me the gig, right? So I got to design the Lego set, and I beat all these like super hardcore Doctor Who fans, and they were all annoyed at me. But I had this like super cool story that the Doctor wanted me to be the Lego designer. And then during the development of the building instruction, where we get to write all the texts about the design team and how we design the set, I revealed to them that Paul McGann is actually my uncle. And so, of course, he advocated for me to be the Lego designer on that set. So that's use my family connections to swindle Lego ideas. And here I am today, the design manager, probably being swindled myself by people on a daily basis.
It's very rare that you can pull "my uncle was Doctor Who" out of the back pocket, though, right? That only happens once every career.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really use that one again. I've used that one up now. But I'm also really proud of Voltron, Defender of the Universe, which came out in 2017, 18? I think it's 18. No, 17. Came out around the same time as the Saturn V. That one for me is like when they were trying to find a designer for it. So I wasn't the manager at the time. It was Tara Wyke, who's been design manager for minifigures as well. She was trying to find the person to do it, and she went to everyone who is like the robot person, who's the robot designer. So she was speaking to. I remember sitting, and we're in NEXO Knights at the time, right, which has a lot of robots in it. And she was talking to my Japanese colleague, Junior Suzuki, about, what do you think? Like, could we do it? Would you want to do it? And he just looked at it and said, oh, no. Because he just said straight up, it's not possible. So she's like, oh, okay then. So she moves down the line, one more. Mark Stafford is sat there. What do you think, Mark? Could we make this? And he's like, it's not possible. We can't do that. So I'm here overhearing this conversation thinking, wow, that's a really cool looking set, right? So I took the paper out of her hands and give me that. I will give you Lego Voltron. And she's like, great, I found my person, you're hired. And I had no idea if I could do it. I never made a Lego robot in my life. The closest I got, I made this polar bear robot from Legends of Shima, and it was like half the size. And so I set out to try and do, like, could you do the transformation to be able to form Voltron from 5 robot lions, which is like unheard of in Lego. There was no way of combining all these Lego sets to be one giant freestanding Lego set. So that was quite interesting. And also, you know, just thinking about one arm is the size of like a $30 Lego set. So it's quite big, it's quite chunky. And that weight is really incredible for the joints that Lego makes. So I tried out so many things. And there was this guy, Neek, who really was interested in what I was doing. And he just kept saying, is this going to be a real set? Is this going to be a real set? I'm like, leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to concentrate on making this. And one day he came with his own Voltron and put it on my desk and said, what do you think? I said, oh, this is great because you're the designer. And I basically gave all my work to him as I was being transitioned into the kind of creative lead role, the design manager role of Lego Ideas. So I was like, well, I'm transitioning to this role, so maybe you could take all my work. Here you go. And I went on summer holiday and I came back and he had nailed it. It was this most beautiful model and it's just perfect. So I'm super proud that we kind of bucked all the trends of Lego. Everyone who said no, it's not possible. And everyone who said it can't stand, Lego can't do that. And we really made the impossible possible. And I think really impacted Lego and also brought a brand new IP, an Asian IP into the Lego system that many people may not have even been aware of. So I really love every aspect of it. And I think it's been really cool to work on. So I'm really proud of that particular set as well, even though I didn't design the final one.
Stuart Cromar has a question, and that is, do your family play with Lego bricks? And does their behaviour or taste inform your work?
I think becoming a parent, it changes your outlook on a lot of things. You know, you go from being very selfish of like what I need and what I want to what do they need, because you become very secondary to your child. And so that has really informed my way of thinking, I would say, more than my like style of building or anything like that. It's more informed my way of thinking of how to design sets for everyone. And, you know, as soon as I build a set, actually, I've had this set in my house since before it came out. So I got one of the first boxes of the production line to test build, and I had to rebuild it this morning because my son got hold of it. But that type of thing shows me that, you know, normal people also have this problem, you know. You have a model in your house that you spent 5 days building, and you might have a 2-year-old that wants to wreck that in 5 seconds. And that was made very obvious to me when I built the old fishing store, which lasted 5 seconds. I finished it, and I was like, hey, Penelope, come and look at this. I put it on my lap, and she slid it off the edge of the table in one go. Dead, you know? And so I just like cried a bit, scraped up the remains, and put them into the Lego bin where it's been ever since. So, you know, it's like 5 days of my life. So that's really changed a lot my perception on how I deliver Lego sets and the Lego experience, right? As for do they play with Lego, yeah, they're a lot in the Duplo because it's big, colorful stuff. My daughter, she's now 6, so she's moved a lot into playing with normal Lego. Can you call it that? System bricks. So she's really into that. But something that has really brought her into Lego is dots, which when I saw it, I was like, oh, come on. I mean, who wants to wear this? And then I find out 6-year-old girls want to wear this. And it turns out my 2-year-old son wants to wear this. And so it really is like, that is her connection to Lego now. You know, it's not, I didn't want to force her in, because I've seen that as well with some of my colleagues where they just, every opportunity, here's a Lego set, here's a Lego set, here's a Lego set. And then the kids are sick of it by the time they're like 10, you know, don't even bring me a Lego set. So I really didn't want to force them into it. And I wanted them to enjoy the things that they enjoy. And this is just one way that they are enjoying Lego, which I'm really happy about. And maybe that someday evolves into them being the designer for Lego Thunderbirds in 2055.
Playing the long game on that.
Exactly.
Kaz asks, is there a specific reason why Lego Ideas does not have a set design team? Does it help to have to pick from everybody potentially?
Yeah, I think one of the things with the not having the set design team has been to try and find the most passionate people, and that's really been great for the products. You know, the products, they really show. I think every single one has this totally new vibe to it, which really shows that the person who did the set really cares about the set, and that for me is what makes Lego Ideas special. Is that it has that element to it. You know, we switch graphic designer all the time, in and out. Crystal stayed on for a long time because she found so many great projects that she really wanted to do. But then, you know, some people come back, you know, they might say, oh, this isn't really for me. So we had Wes, who was pretty much permanent on the team when he did the pop-up book. And after that was the Flintstones. And I said to him, hey man, you're my guy. Here's the Flintstones. And he said, I don't want to do this one. No. So it left me kind of high and dry. But he said, but this designer really likes the Hanna-Barbera cartoon IPs. So I think that's the person you should go to. So we had, it was really great that these people, they know each other. And so sometimes I get a suggestion from someone else that designer, she should be the one to be on Lego Ideas. And so that's really great. And we really want it to be as diverse as possible. I don't want it to be that it's the same person in those designer videos all the time, because I'm sick of looking at my own face in those designer videos. So I don't know how everyone else feels about it. So I want it to be diverse and to show that we're this huge team. You know, the design team at Lego is like 300 people. And it's not just 5 people that you see in a video. You know, it's really diverse, people from all different cultures, backgrounds, genders, all different types of people. So I really want that to flourish and to be really visible in Lego Ideas, because it's for everyone. Lego Ideas by everyone, for everyone, you know.
I think your trick in the designer videos is to continue to wear different hats in each one, and then people don't get sick of looking at
Grow
you.
a beard, cut it to a moustache. The next one. I always end up with the bad stuff to do. So they made me eat cookies in the Sesame Street one.
It's a hard job. Someone's got to. Martin Ferenczi asks, so he talks about the fact that Lego working for them was a dream come true for you. And, people like Niels have been with the company for decades, and he was commemorated in the Lego Ideas dinosaur set. Do you see yourself working for the Lego group for 30 years or more?
That's the dream, I think. When I joined the company as a junior designer, I told my story to Torben about how I wanted to be a Lego designer my whole life. And you could see in his face, that's super nice. And then he finds out like how old I am. And then he asked me, so what was your favorite Lego set as a kid? And I tell him this small truck that's behind me. And then I could just see in his face, like really upset, like, I designed that Lego set. I'm old. But I think what would be really great experience for me is to have that same experience, to have that, that it was something that I did was so important to someone that it was their favorite toy as a kid. I mean, that would just be like magic to me, that someone said, oh, when I was a kid, I had the golden dragon and it was so cool and my favorite Lego set. And I'll be like, I'm old. I made that set. And I think this thing would be super cool because, if you think about it, I've already been at Lego for 10 years. So the first sets that I made are almost 10 years old, they're 8, 9 years old. And those people who were the perfect sweet spot age, so 7 years old when Ninjago came out, it's 17 years old now. They're actually going into higher education. So it's really interesting to see those people are growing with the company, and I would really love to see them come to Lego, because it's just, it's not just me that should have that dream that comes true, right? It should be everyone has that opportunity. So it's why I join these events and why I talk to school kids, and I want everyone to have that opportunity to see that they can have the same thing too. You can all have the same thing too, if you want it.
Well, I don't know. I think you lost some of the crowd when you didn't know what Palmo was, because there's a lot of comments here questioning your taste in food and not knowing that. And the suggestion that after lockdown, you should come to a Northern Lego event and try out Palmo.
I lived in Derbyshire for 3 years and I've still never heard of it.
Mate, Derby is not north. That is
okay. It's not north enough, is it?
That's why I'm allowed to host this event. It's London AFOLs and Brick Alley Lug, and I'm from the Midlands, so I'm the only person who is legitimately okay to represent both. So, right, we've got a question from Matt Bailey here. How would you like to see Lego Ideas evolve in the future?
I think I would really just love Lego Ideas to constantly be adding to Lego and really opening doors. So, picking those IPs that are out there that Lego's never really latched onto. I hope that is the ongoing feel for Lego Ideas, and also to make original ideas that we've never really thought of or even had the kind of the guts to release as a real Lego set. So I really like that we push the boundaries on, our building techniques, but also our technology. It was really interesting to try out on the piano, where we did the kind of reverse remote control. So the model controls the app instead of the app controlling the model. So that, I really want to continue challenging Lego, the Lego group and its design values, to bring new ideas to the table and just kind of break the rules and make new ones. So, and I really love that we bring new IPs that every time we do an IP, half the team though we've never heard of them, but that's half the fun, is educating them, is to look at the size of this fan base. Just because you're not part of it doesn't mean that we shouldn't launch it, because there is a huge fan base. And so that's really great discussions that we have. And my ultimate dream is that we get to somehow bring to life nearly all of those Lego ideas that reach 10,000, you know, so just give more opportunities for people. You know, with Bricklink doing this fan designer program, what's it called? AFOL designer program, sorry. I really want that to kind of go together, and somehow we can make everyone's dream come true, and really knock down doors at Lego. So you're not building the same X-Wing forever.
And just so we can recap then, what Lego idea sets are in the pipeline at the moment?
So right now, in no particular order, just to clarify, we have Winnie the Pooh, Fender Stratocaster, Home Alone, Seinfeld, Typewriter, Sonic the Hedgehog, Earth Globe, and also Starry Night.
Starry Night now, yeah, as well.
Yes, so it's a lot. It's really a lot in the pipeline, and they're all coming soon.
And this is a good week for people to watch Lego ideas on social media, isn't it?
Definitely. Who knows?
Every week is.
Every week is a great week to look at Lego ideas, but this week is going to be a very exciting week. So I can't tell you what for, but just keep your eyes peeled. Lego social media.
So a massive thank you, Sam, on behalf of everyone, for talking to us. It's been absolutely fascinating to get this insight into what you do and Lego ideas. I'm sure we could have talked for another hour and a half and it would still have flown by.
Yeah, maybe next year. We'll do it again next year. Maybe I'll have something else to talk about.
I'll hold you to that, Sam.
Stratocasters and things.
That'll always be demand. And if we're out of lockdown, you know, then you'll be able to taste Parme.
Yeah. Yes, that sounds good. We should go together. We'll meet up at some fast food joint and we'll all have Parmo together, whatever it is.
And then make a greasy mess of some Lego bricks afterwards.
Yeah, why not?